What's up, everybody? Finn here, and welcome to the Intentional Wreck Podcast NASCAR 25 Season 2 Race 4 Sonoma Recap video. We go road racing, and it was a grind for some, a good day for others. Um, yeah, we have 27 drivers on track at a road course, and we're ready to rock. So, without further ado, let's hop into this and see how this goes. We're gonna go on board the 20 car, one of the fastest qualifiers, basically all week long here. I can't tell if the audio is coming through for him. Hold on, let me make sure that's working correctly. Routing system. There's audio. So we're on board Dilly Tune. Dilly is one of the few controller drivers. There's another one, Health Seeker. Controller drivers in the league. The rest are on wheels, and we get going to the left, and then right-hander Mad Cheeks thrown off the track. Dilly spun in the rear by Playsick, who was no doubt hit by 10 other guys, and we get going as Dilly works his way up to fifth. Out front early in this race is your power rankings leader, Sean Z. Everybody just kind of get these tires up to temp and get going. Hellseeker's up to third. Big throw in here by Dilly, but the undercut goes the 81 at Top Gun. Let's see who gets through this braking zone. He kind of squeezes him. Stays into it. So yeah, we're just going to kind of see what this, kind of initial battle looked like, and then catch some of the action and go watch these guys win. So, oh man, just Top Gun. Oh, it looks like might have gotten off track. That's going to take him out of contention. Dilly tends to be a little bit slower, let him go, and that off track gets born. Here throwing this thing around, Snugs right behind him. Your second place finisher at Worldwide Technology. So good opening stuff here by these front guys. Look at the 48 of APW, a couple Hendrick guys, Dense Fog P2, APW P6, and you've got Shanzi in the RPM machine with Warm Snuggles, his teammate. And of course the couple Toyotas here, Hellseeker, Dillyton. So a good balance of guys, and really credit to like Hellseeker immediately here, somebody who struggled immensely with road courses when we went to Coda. So the practice races and all that other stuff have seemed to really pay off here. So here's kind of open. It looks like now they're just kind of getting laps. Then we had a first kind of big major moment. Let's check in on that. All right, we're on board here, that 9 machine of Dense Fog, and he's kind of tracked down the leader here. Shanzi won the first race of the year. Huge improvement. Specifically, these types of tracks are not a place I think I would have expected him to compete here. He gets a little wide. A lot different to run the hot laps, and then there's hot laps with Dense Fog in your mirror. So it looks like he's going to get even a little bit more wide here. Dense really giving him. This is a note in to those that race. We talk about patience. Look at how different. Here's a rule I've always heard in iRacing, which is, don't interrupt your opponent when they're making a mistake. Is Dense in here throwing this in as fast as he can and overdriving just because Shanzi makes one mistake? No, he doesn't. Look at how more controlled Dense is. And then, there's a big mistake there by Shanzi. He's going to lose a lot of speed. And even here, does he throw it in? No, he just takes his time. Shanzi, and I'm not picking on Shanzi here, but this is a master class in just don't interrupt him while he's making a mistake. All of these things are happening. Is there an opportunity to gun this up and try to get past him? No, even here, others might throw the car to the right and try to take this turn too wide. And I think, that kind of forces a move out of Shanzi. He takes this corner a little too hot. Dense takes it cleaner. And then that's all she wrote in terms of making the pass. And then now it's just winning in the braking zone, which he does. And now, Dense, who won that Coda race here, Shanzi even then kind of driving it to the wall there. Immediately out of that turn, we're 8/10 ahead of the field. So really looking like we might have another Coda situation where Dense Fog is effectively driving away from everybody. So as you can see here, Dense has got himself an 8-second lead, and as these tires wear, this is just to show how quickly things can can honestly go wrong in a road course because Dents is completely driven away. Backing it down would have been a huge idea. I mean, you're just praising him for what happened. And this is minor, you know, this is just coming out of the turns. You probably hit this turn fine all day, but when you're in these high gears with the worn tires, right, we're 6 laps into this race, this right here, just taking it the way he took it, getting back up into gear, the way the revs are high, we're at 8,000 RPMs, and that's enough to completely spin him. So then, you know, okay, we've got some bad damage here. 91% aero. The tires aren't horrible as the field has kind of caught him. Now he's coming back on track, and it looks like he might not have been invisible to Shanzi or what, but then there's contact with Shanzi, and then that's that. And now the car's like in bad shape. And you're either going to drive around the shit box for the rest of the race or what. But, oh, and then another more damage to go on top of it, down to 82 now. Just the day goes absolutely awful for the 9 machine, who has looked really solid in stints. You know, a couple races he's won both stages. Oh god, even gets even worse. All right, this is who wears Dense Fog? This is, you know, that scene where Charles Barkley gets his power sapped by the aliens in Space Jam. I feel like this is what I'm watching in real time, and we're just watching him. Not only that, he enters in. He's not driving right here, so he doesn't know. And then of course, so he starts to drive, and then he must not see this, so then he speeds, and so then he gets a black. This, yeah, that might genuinely be the worst sequence I've ever seen in NASCAR 25, and you see him pause it and go, "Do I even want to do this?" All right, enough flaming our guy. Let's go see what that battle for the lead looks like. We're on board here with JJ Franken here. There's some good mid-pack battling here between the like 5 to 10 spot here. You know, you have APW who, you know, suffered the in real life ankle injury playing whatever they play. Uh-oh, Shanzi with the 5-second penalty. That'll hurt as everybody moves up position there. This is Hellseeker, Big APW, JTB Mad Cheeks, who had, honestly, an incredible day. Really must be practicing the road courses. Shout out to him because he really wasn't all that competitive at Coda, if I recall. I can't remember. I got wrecked out of Watkins Glen, so I don't remember how that went. But certainly has improved his road racing skills there. But APW, you know, coming in the 48 machine, coming in off of the ankle injury, did a couple races on controller, and I think just really struggled. It's just really hard to play this game on controller. Especially if you're like used to the wheel and you know, different throttle and braking in points. Here's a big, nice pass here by JJ, holding it all the way down. They're side by side here. This is good quality road course racing. Right behind 2 other guys. All right, here's a big move. I'm just gonna stay on this for a little bit. What a good battle here, and respectful battling from both of them. You know, we're really putting in a good product here. JTB. Oh no, little loose. But JJ saves it. Shanzi and Plasik are about 7th and 8th back here behind this. I would show what's going on in the back, but it was chaos. Uh-oh. 48 really struggled there. Had to save that race car. You could see the side of it. Let's see how JTB tackles this turn. If he tries to... Again, we're seeing so much more patience. Like, JTB not diving it down there and just being like, yo, I'm going to be right on your bumper here. Like, genuinely, your guys... Like, hats off to the racecraft that's kind of improved throughout. I mean, understanding this is not a passing section. This is a stay up on him section. Let's see how JTB, you know, good left side. Let's see, gets a run here. Not going to go too wide here. Just gets a good turn. Let's see. And then now you get to the passing zone. Let's see. Not going to get it this time. Good exit. This is a tough turn. I will give APW a little bit of slack there. I really don't think that that's blocking. Let's continue to watch this battle here as it unfolds. I want to see how this results. I mean, this is JTB. Good battle with JJ. And Mad Cheeks. Here's a nice little undercut move. 48. Loses a little bit. This, again, kind of a consistent spot where it's really, really loose when you're back on the throttle. JTB looking, just being real patient. That's going to bring JJ back into him. At this point, if I'm APW, I'm like, and this isn't like a reputation thing, but like if you're sliding around that much in front of somebody, just let them go. Um, it's getting close. There's a lot of patience being shown by JTB, and it's not that the 48's doing anything wrong. It's just one of those. That one's tough, you know. Like you obviously, this is one of those scenarios. Like as soon as JTB gets past him, he's gonna gap him by like 5 seconds. All right, so JTB backs up a little bit. Says, "Okay, I'm giving the 48 a lot of pressure, and it's slowing me up." I think that might be that battle here. Let me check in and see if there's anything closer. After the mishap here that came from the 9 struggling, this kind of gave this battle back to Dillytoon and Snugs, two former teammates, as Snugs was famously one of the Toyotas last year who has moved over to the Ford camp, taking on the Carl Edwards tribute machine, Roto-Rooter Ford, built off of that kind of Office Depot scheme of 99, where Dilly, I think, is running a tribute scheme, I think, to like some GT racing, stuff like that. So, oh, big bad turn here. But really, this was the battle. So this is kind of what we're going to capture here for the rest of the video, as there's space-time jumper serving a penalty there. And you can see here ahead, Dilly is getting into some really major traffic here. Probably the 24 machine somewhere soon. I know that he passed me at one point. I was genuinely... Yep, that is the 24 machine. Me and Hunwee just struggling with an Il Popetta 49. So these guys lapping us on pace, and that is enough for Snugs to come in here and make a move. So let's see how this battle paces out between our top two. You know, it's not often in road course racing that you get a battle like this that goes out throughout the race. So, you know, the rest of the field you can see 12 seconds behind with Hellseeker, APW, what we were watching before. Big braking zone. Dilly gets a nudge there. Put Bumblebee in the 2 machine in the mix, and Dilly is in hell trying to figure out how to navigate this and keep the 99 behind them. Fortunately, again, we talked about patience. Look at the 99 not dive bombing on anybody. Bumblebee kind of gets in the way of his RPM teammate there. You hate to see inner team drama. You know, I'm surely a meeting will happen this week and let Bumblebee know what's expected from him. Uh-oh. Dilly gets into Il Popetta a little bit, and that's going to open the door here for Snugs. Snugs going to go to the inside. Big braking zone. Dilly's been notoriously good in this braking zone, but Snugs is able to hold on to it here. Big braking down the first gear here, and look, Dilly gets into this, and listen, he said, and I recall, he's going to let him have the space, I believe. I think he lets him have the position back after nudging him. Let's see if that was the case. Dilly mentioned to me once that he did let Snugs back by due to some contact on the turn. Right now, this doesn't look like that. It looks like we're battling. So it wasn't the most egregious in that turn. He just really kind of threw it in there. Okay, back to racing. We're definitely racing here. Snug shows to the inside. It's going to fall back in line. This is the shitty 24 machine. And the Ryan Newman, and look at me, just see you later, bye. And the Ryan Newman tribute that I didn't even finish because the right side's not even done, so well done, idiot. Unfinished Ryan Newman scheme. All right, now we're back battling for the lead with just about 12 laps to go here, 17 of 28. Oh, man, so Dilly really wiggling, and look, just patience. It's just patience from Snugs, you know. So many opportunities, yes, to just throw it in there, but you see what happens when you throw it in on this track. You know, one turn makes one bad turn makes for 2 more rough turns because you're overcompensating. Look, as you see above, Mad Cheeks did finally get around APW for that P3 position. Look at Dilly, way off the track wide. He's got Hunwee in front of him. All right. Big battles. Good run here by Snugs. What's the options? Going to hang to the outside. Cuts underneath in line. Gets around the Hunt. There's TBD. Ooh, big turn there. And that is enough for Snugs to take the lead. Just a better rotation and getting back on the throttle. And boom. There's your big time setup and eventual payoff. And now, because you kind of let Dilly do all that hard work and then mistakes on overdriving afterwards, now we're in a scenario where there's no need to, there's not a lot of traffic. You just have the TDB over here who kind of gets punted a little bit, and then we got green track. All right, checking in here, lap 22:28. This is going to be. I'm not going to shame anybody. Obviously, people have rough days and stuff like that. My big ask here, as you'll see here in a second, is making sure that, and it's hard to tell because, it's hard to tell because the game does not tell you if the leader is coming. You have to check on your mini map. So that means you have to know where you are and then know where the leader is, which is tough to do while you're navigating a road course. I will give some grace here. As well as the game doesn't tell you, hey, leader's coming, you'll be a lap down here, and the leader can't mic up and be like, hey man, can you move? I'm on the way. That being said, Snugs has gotten himself a 2-second lead. So I'm going to put a little bit of ownership on all of this on Snugs, just because he's the better driver here. So Bondsman gets into the wall pretty bad here, and there's the first mistake, right? So here's the first mistake. Like, all he had to do was rotate this corner a little bit better, Snugs. And we're getting by, but he cooks himself. So then that mistake leads to still being behind Bondsman when I think that was an easy pass, and then none of what's about to occur would occur. That being said, just that one mistake brought Dilly back in within a second, and then here. So big, this is not a passing zone, and this is a really big acceleration. That's a really big acceleration into Bondsman, and I don't know if Bondsman's ready. This is Bondsman's fault. He is absolutely shoving Snugs off the track. I don't think that's intentional. I think he's just struggling. But I think he has to take a cleaner way of approaching that pass and approaching that lap car, and that's a skill, right? Like, yes. And I believe here, yes, this is where Dilly gives the lead back up and goes, hey, you were dealing with the lap traffic. I came in and hit you. So let's work. So there's cleaner ways to stop Dilly from being brought back into this race. Now let's watch this battle. Let's go on board with Dilly. On board with Dilly 2 now. Lap 23-28. And listen, now we're back on it, right? Yes, a lapper came in and caused some issues, but I do think Snugs, and it is a skill to manage lap traffic here. Big mistake by Snugs. Dilly's going to take advantage of it. Clean racing on the back end. He throw it underneath him. Big rotation on the bottom. Patience, throttle. Snugs is going to get into the wall there. That'll slow him down a tick. And on we go. 5 to go. Let's see how these things pan out. Now, up to this point, remember, Snugs had been faster and had been pulling away. Oh, another mistake by Snugs, kind of overdriving that right-hander to turn 2. Dilly not doing that at all. Dilly just being patient through these sections. There it is. Another Snugs is off the track. We drive on. Let's see if we can get a scenario where Snugs gets a little bit closer back as these guys continue to battle it out. Well, I hate to ruin the surprise, but he does not figure it back out. Dilly is able to run very, very consistent laps. And I just want to say a shout out to like this performance. We've had some elite performances. We've had Snugs at the Glen. We've had the Dover race from the Coda race from Dents, Nick's performance to win the championship last year, winning both stages, and then the fuel run. Like, we've had some incredible performances. This one is up there. To master a very technical track, a very slick track, on a controller, no less, is one of the more impressive feats, I think, as somebody who races on a controller. My Iowa win was not nearly as impressive as this. This was pure dominance. And Dilly coming out here, getting his first win of his IWP career, just elite all around. Of course, the Toyota wins at the Toyota Save Mart 350. congratulations to him. A good race from Snugs, Hellseeker, Hellseeker, Mad Cheeks. Great days from those guys, I think. Well, actually, Hellseeker, I think, had some issues. I think it's just showing. So, Playsick gets P4, Franken P5. P6, I think, ends up being Big APW, Dinger Magic. Solid day from those guys. APW, great day from the 48. Ran around in the top 4 to 5 all day long. So, solid days across the board. Really impressive win. And then, of course, tomorrow we got some Charlotte. So, looking forward to seeing those patriotic schemes. And see you guys tomorrow night.